I would like to briefly introduce our paper on migrant retention in the UK and Japan, and I'm covering the Japan part here. So our paper was inspired by the idea that although there's a lot of focus on attracting migrants, especially in countries that suffer from demographic aging and a population decline or a lack of labor pool, in specific industries, there has not been much attention on the retention of these people. So in our case, looking at the UK and Japan, both troubled by the problems I just mentioned, we have been looking at what we call staying processes. So those people who have already arrived in those countries, why would they stay? And if they moved on, what would be the triggering decisions for them moving on? Since studies have found out that actually people are not staying in either case for too long. So we are looking at EU migrants, and in the case of Japan, we found that this is usually not a one-time unilinear decision of staying or leaving, but that people accumulate experiences, practices, assets, and so on, that over time all add up to their prolonged staying or at some time remigration. And we found how important the temporal aspect and the life course events are for people's decisions and constant weighing up if they should stay, if they should prolong their stay in the country. So in the case of Japan, we find in both cases that especially others, significant others, and the links between their lives and the places, the biographies of people themselves and of places, how they change. In the case of Tokyo, a huge diversification in recent years, they all add up and accumulate and make it harder for people to leave the longer they stay, but still might lead to remigration decisions if, for example, couples decisions, child rearing, and so on are considered and are found difficult in Japan.
So the paper we wrote focused on sort of the temporalities of migrants staying. That's quite important because lots of research has taken place looking at the influences shaping migration from one place to another, and indeed looking at the drivers behind migration in the context of migration policies that are seeking to maybe address demographic challenges, economic growth, etc., etc. So this paper shifts the focus on migrant-to-migrant retention and migrant staying. So the idea here really is that policies which are around attracting migrants to meet labour market shortages or to address demographic challenges are only as good as the fact in terms of keeping the individuals who've moved in a particular place. So what we do is we focus in the paper on strategies focused around migrant retention, and indeed the strategies that migrants use themselves in terms of staying in a place. So we look at the particular influences which relate to assets, changing biographies of people and place, and indeed the importance of something called linked lives, the activities of others which shape migrants' decisions either to stay in place or to move on.